Is an option planned to disable the unrealistic brake markers?
The unrealistic brake markers, yeah, well, they are uh, they are there simply because we a long time ago took the decision to actually abandon the trackside distance markers that you would see on a racetrack in real life. And we did that simply because that there were a vast majority of players that didn't understand how to use the distance markers. The distance markers themselves are actually not brake markers. They are there to tell the driver how far it is to the apex of the corner. And an experienced driver's not using that particular mark as a brake mark. They will find some maybe a distance between the two markers, or it's a tree, or it's a shadow, or something else to tell them when to brake, so that they brake at exactly the same time on every lap. Anyways, there was a vast majority of players that simply didn't see these, and therefore ended up out in the bush, if you will. So a long time ago, it was decided to go with these bigger markers and see if that would help people see when a corner is coming up, and sort of plan their braking phase a little bit. It will eventually be possible to toggle between that and the traditional distance markers, but exactly when that is, I can't disclose at this time. Sorry.
Is there a time frame on when single player racing against AI is available?
Single player and racing against the AI is being worked upon currently. We are working hard to improve the actual experience, the logic and the behavior of the AI. We are sticking with the adaptive approach in terms of AI strength. But obviously the AI that you have seen so far in track test, that's not racing the actual player. That's just there doing what you're doing, and that is testing your car on a given track. The AI that you will have in single player is targeting racing, and it will be racing the player. We have made improvements in many areas with regards to the AI, the way the scanners work, the way it interacts with the player and with other AI cars. And I find it a healthy improvement on the experience that we have delivered in the past. And to be perfectly honest, I think it is absolutely the right approach for us to deal with AI on an adaptive basis. I should probably clarify that adaptive in our world means that it will adapt on a per race basis. That means that your performance in this race is going to affect the AI in the coming race. So the AI sort of evolves with you. It's not this rubber band type AI where within the race it's going to slow down and wait for you, or speed up to catch you. But you'll have it soon.
Will it be possible to set a different time of day in the game?
Right now it's not possible, and building up to the release of this ongoing public beta, we were working towards having something that we refer to as driving moods, which is aimed at you being able to change the actual light setting, not so much the time of day, but the bloom levels, saturation and stuff like that, so that you could make the game look different than the light setting that we ship with. Because at the end of the day, personal preference is after all personal, and there are quite many personalities playing the game both within our company and out there, and it would be silly to think that we could find a setting that would suit everybody, and therefore the driving moods were in play. Now certain things have taken priority over getting the driving moods ready, and therefore driving moods is not available for you guys yet. They will be eventually. As with regards to changing time of day, that obviously I guess relates to having a dynamic time of day, or being able to set up for an evening or a night race. And we're not there yet, to be perfectly honest. The engine supports it, and our newly developed render supports it, but there is so much more to being able to run at night or late at night, from a gameplay point of view. And and we have opted out of that simply because of the overwhelming cost that is associated with something like this, and the somewhat limited appeal of it. That's not to say that we don't want it, and we understand why you guys would want it too. But if you look at a broader market, then probably taking a discipline that is already somewhat difficult, and that is racing a race car, and put it into the night where all of a sudden you can be running without lights at all if you have damage on your car or something like that. Yeah, it makes things even harder, and we are going to hold on that a little bit. But as I said, the engine supports it, so it's not unlikely that it will happen at some point.
A lot of people has been asking about the Nordschleife. So what about the Nordschleife?
The Nordschleife is obviously it's the track to have. It's a gem. It's history. It's motorsports. It's everything that sort of. It's everything that you can even think to want if you're a fan of motorsports today and historically. It's also a track that we have done before. We have very good knowledge of the track and the surroundings. As a company, we have been present at the Nordschleife on many occasions. We have referenced the Nordschleife before. As a matter of fact, one of our then artists is probably the one and only person to ever skateboard the Nordschleife. That was a sight to see, I can tell you. And look, we need the license and we need a deal set before we can release a Nordschleife. The Nordschleife has had and the Nürburgring complex has had a tough time, and that has made it tough to come to any sort of agreements. But that has not stopped us from slowly starting the process of getting the track ready in a state that fits RaceRoom Racing Experience and the new render. But it's a big track and it's a lot of work. But the groundwork is done and the preparations have been done. And as soon as the deal is signed, work will continue to finish the track, and we'll be able to share it with you guys.